What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. It's Ryan and Jay on Thursday. After a small break, our Wednesday off. We get Wednesdays off, which is always nice. Hump day. Don't want to be working here on hump day.
Didn't really get off, Ryan, because me and you showed up on the Mario Kart stream because that stream needed a little boost.
Yeah,
so I mean, they called us in. Can you guys play Mario Kart? I'm gonna be a little late. I'm not really much on the gaming streams much anymore, but they called us in.
Yeah, Jeremy's he desperately fucking picked up the bullpen phone, and I'm like, no, man, I know I'm the closer, but I'm retired. Been out of the game for 2 years. He's like, Ryan, we desperately need you here tonight if you can make it. And I'm like, God, fine. So I went downstairs, unplugged my stupid Switch, brought it up here, plugged it into the computer, set all my stuff up, and yeah, I did a little Mario Kart last night.
Yeah, and you kind of dominated for a 2-year absence. Wasn't bad at all.
Little up and down, but yeah, the first series of races I joined, I did win 2 of them. Which,
yeah, right.
Considering all these fucks play this game every goddamn week together, I just have to say, it's fucking pathetic. Like, it is so pathetic that you're playing every week for 2 years. And I haven't played because we have somebody that keeps track of all the stats basically every time we play. And this is my first Mario Kart appearance since June of 2023. And that is the last time I played Mario Kart was in June of 2023. So,
yeah, that was pretty funny when Dino Wheels showed up with the stats. Ryan has returned, 2-year absence.
Well, another 2 years. Tune in, might see me again. You never know.
Maybe. Well, I have
a busted fucking controller.
You still use it.
The last time I played Mario Kart, I fucking slammed it on the thing and immediately broke it. My brand new Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I slammed it because I was pissed and I broke the trigger, so the trigger doesn't work, which means you have to use kind of the alternative button to hold shit behind you or launch your items or whatever the fuck. But yeah, we played a little Mario Kart last night.
Well, on some good news, I went to my P.O. box, and you mind if I show off some things? I think there's some things you might like.
Sure. I'm going to mine on Saturday, so if anybody has anything there, I'll see it on Saturday.
I got a ton of butter dishes, and I only got a few to show off because I don't have enough space on my desk. But I don't know. What do you think? You like this one? It's a coffin.
That reminds me of the Dracula thing that I got at Universal the other day. Yeah, I got a flask. I got a Dracula flask at Universal the other day.
I've never seen a coffin butter dish, so that was pretty unique. All right. Maybe that's not your thing, Ryan. How about this one? This one's probably more up your alley. Let's see. We got the taco truck butter dish. Look at that. No.
It's so wild how many different variations of butter dishes there are, because the only time there was ever a butter dish anywhere was when I was at my grandma's. Right, like that was it. That was the only time that happened. We never had one in my house. Typically, we use I can't believe it's not butter because it's so much fucking easier.
The tub,
the tub of I can't believe it's not butter. The tub of Country Crock, whatever it might be.
Country Crock, yeah.
And I'm still that way to this day. There ain't no way I'm gonna have fucking butter just sitting out all the time in a butter dish. So it's
this is like someone made me a butter bowl. So it's like a big old butter bowl, but they engraved it. It says Vindicta, like on my hat. So I was like, that's a nice touch. Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Do you think pirates had
butter?
Yeah.
No, probably not. They had a horrible diet. They had scurvy. All they had to do was like eat an orange and they would have been fine. So I can only imagine probably a heavy diet of whatever they pulled out of the sea. From fish to all kinds of stuff.
Only fucking butter I've ever got around me stays in the fridge until I need to use it for actual like cooking or something. That's the only butter
in the fridge, man. I hate it. My butter's got to be soft and ready to melt once it hits the toast, and just gets all absorbed. I hate cold butter.
Listen. I don't have any problem with my margarine. I'm just telling you that.
There you go.
I can spread that shit, no problem. On there, crescent rolls, toast, whatever it might be.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, I thought you would appreciate a few of them. Maybe the taco truck. Yeah, I know you love your tacos.
I do like tacos. I don't particularly want any butter dishes, but you know, I can
the collection
respect
is
the meme.
growing.
I can respect the meme. You know,
I still have 3 I haven't shown because I couldn't carry them all. I was gonna pull off one of those commercials. The old commercial with the white people trying to carry stuff and they just fumble and dump stuff everywhere. So I was like, I'm only gonna take 3. So if I didn't show yours off, I got 6. Or I got freaking 6. That's all it was in my P.O. box. 6 butter dishes. One of them is a giant flamingo. I think I got another cow. So yeah, I think I'm on 14 now. 14 butter dishes.
What do you do with them?
They're in a display cabinet.
Like an old person?
Yeah. I don't know. I have a random cabinet upstairs that there's nothing in. So I just stick it all in there. When it's time to use one, we'll use one. I don't know.
Someone says crescent rolls are delicious. They are.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where I'm like, what do I want to eat tonight? You know what? I just want to eat crescent rolls, and I'll make 2 batches, which is what? That's 8 comes in a crescent roll thing, so that's 16. 16, slather them, and I can't believe it's not butter, and just fucking smash them. Man, that's a great meal right there.
What is that? What is that made out of? I can't believe it's not butter. It's
margarine.
Plastic.
I don't know.
Margarine? Yeah.
It fucking tastes like butter. I can't believe it's not butter, quite frankly. I think that's how they came up with the name.
The giant tubs. That's probably what most people use anyway.
Kingdom Hearts Gamer, thank you for everyone's concern and prayers. My biopsy results came in yesterday. All is well. Thank you, God.
Oh, that's good to hear.
But that's rough. I'm sorry you had to go through the stress and anxiety of all that, but it's good to know that everything is good. That's why I just don't go to the doctor. Can't get bad news. Can't get bad news. You don't go to the doctor.
I just got to deal with a pain. It'll go away eventually. Drink enough alcohol.
I mean, I guess if I ever felt anything was massively fucking like really wrong with me, then I would probably be forced to go. I don't know. I feel all right. Alex McCarthy for 2. RK3PO is back. Enter code RK Outpost or Drunk 3PO.
Let's get your Meta PC.
And that's a good reminder. As always, you can go check out if you're in need of a new PC for gaming, editing, streaming, whatever you want to do. Go check out Meta PCs. You can use the code 199 if you want to help Jeremy out. If you want to help us out, you can use one of our codes. So all depends on your prerogative. But we appreciate the reminder, Alex. Godzilla's Greaser for 5. Happy 66th birthday to my favorite living artist, Brian Setzer. Hope he's able to overcome his autoimmune disease and play again. Thank you, Godzilla's Greaser, and happy birthday to Brian. Empty-headed for 199. I agree with Josh. Hashtag preach J preach.
That's for another channel, but thank you.
Beardo's Prolapse Butter Dripping Cornhole for $20. Hail, y'all. Was at Walmart this morning looking at toys. Got to say, Jack Black looks like crap wearing diamond armor. Haven't watched the movie yet, but human wearing Minecraft armor just don't fit. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but I mean, I think it's
that was the point.
Part of it is kind of supposed to look ridiculous, but yeah, he does wear diamond armor in the thing. At the end for the big battle, it doesn't last very long. David Smart for 5. Hail the fellowship. Ryan, that you killed me yesterday on Evening Show when you put that person on blast. And Jay, what do you think about WrestleMania?
I'm going for John Cena all day, every day. And I think we'll be watching it all together on local. I'm not sure, but I believe so. The big issue is that I think WrestleMania is the same weekend as is it the same weekend as Vegas meetup? It's around the same time.
It is the same weekend.
It's the same weekend, yeah.
Quasi, very retarded. But yeah, it is, especially because we're not going to go to it or anything.
Right.
So it's just going to happen to be in Vegas while we're also in Vegas.
So you're going to be around tons of wrestling fans.
I'm going to be flying back on that Sunday. So I probably won't be watching either.
Man, you might bump into like John Cena at the airport.
Probably wouldn't see him if I did.
Well played. Well played.
Andre CR. I could just imagine me and John Cena waiting for our baggage at the Southwest fucking terminal. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, but Andre CR for 5,000. I don't know how many years I took my lunch inside a can't believe it's not butter box case of whatever the fuck it's called.
Yo, once you're done with that country crock tub, you fill it full of spaghetti.
Yeah, that is 100% like a poor person thing. Like using used fucking butter canisters as Tupperware. Like 100%. You know you're poor if that's kind of one of those things.
SpaghettiOs and everything else goes in there. Even a salad. I've seen I've actually packed a salad in one of those things.
Sonny Hard R. Rags pick Ryan for flag football versus Mahler on 4/19. Rags pick Ryan for flag football versus Mahler. What does this mean?
Rags, the YouTuber?
Well, I know who Rags is, obviously.
So he picked Ryan?
Yeah, did he pick me? I'm not aware of any flag football going on, although I would probably dominate. Taker for 5. I'm sick of Nintendo's lies. There's no way a cow on a motorcycle could grind on a power line. It could not support the weight. We're not fools.
Respect.
Are you looking forward to the Nintendo Switch 2 and Super Mario Kart World or whatever?
Man, I ain't buying that crap. I'm poor. I'll wait to see if Jeremy doesn't have enough players, maybe he'll start gifting.
That's the strategy, right?
Are you gonna play or not? I don't have the money, man. I don't have $900 for that stuff.
You maybe pay $500 for a game I'll play once every 2 years. Been through that before. I remember when he fucking made me. He's like, "Oh no, go out and buy Call of Duty Vanguard."
Yeah,
he's like, "We're gonna play it all the time." It's like, all right,
we
fucking played it once, fucking one time.
That's why I'll stick to Fortnite and Sea of Thieves. But Nintendo did make a statement. He goes, for all you poor people out there that can't afford the Switch 2, that's why we're still going to keep making the Switch 1. So that's me right there. That's my lane.
Yeah, for the it's a good thing I've got a Switch 1. And yeah, there's been everyone's obviously super hypersensitive about everything surrounding it right now. There was a lot of backlash towards the game pricing, a lot of questionable, like $450 for the console that is effectively going to perform like a PlayStation 4. That's what we know now after a lot of people have kind of analyzed it. The Nintendo Switch 2 has the same kind of power capabilities, and you can expect the same performance out of it that you could a PlayStation 4. I don't know. To each their own. I think a lot of people are still going to pay it. So
I agree.
Snacks for 2. Caution. Code 199 will put gay on your PC. Only if you want it to. Only if you wanted to. Raiden Roach. Happy Friday Eves, y'all. Cena may ask you to get Jay's autograph, Ryan, because he follows Jay for some reason. John Cena follows approximately 1 million people on Twitter.
He followed me, and I don't follow him back. It was a random follow. Usually on those type of accounts, you follow first.
I don't understand how he just follows a fuck ton of people. And I don't know why. I'm not sure what the purpose is. But yeah, he follows like 1 million people. I remember when Az got really excited about it one time. Like, John Cena followed me on Twitter. It's like, yeah, you and 1 million other fucking people.
You're not special. I'm not special.
Like Jeremy, when Sergeant Slaughter followed him.
But it was really weird that I was like, Cena's following me, but I don't follow him back. So he must have found me. Yeah. Still don't follow.
Thunderstrike for 5. I met Ric Flair 5 years ago at the Delta baggage claim in LA. I addressed him as Mr. Flair, and he took a picture with me. I even flashed the 4 fingers. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I had a bad experience with Ric Flair.
Why?
We were at the Comic-Con, and he went to get a picture with Gina, and then when he asked me to go get the picture, I accidentally knocked over all the border walls, and yeah, it was one of those
that was
things.
with Ric Flair when that happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't have a bad experience with Ric Flair. You did something stupid while Ric Flair was present.
So that was the bad experience.
Yeah. But it's not like, but when you said it that way, it felt like, oh, I met Ric Flair and it was not good. Like he's an asshole. That's how it felt when you said it. Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm glad you gave me a chance to tell the tale, to clear his name.
I just wanted to make sure we couldn't be shitting all over the great Ric Flair without knowing all the details.
He also didn't take a picture with me after the incident.
He probably was worried you were going to knock him over. I'm old. I can't be around this clumsy oaf.
He did have a hot chick with him, though. I'll give him that, man. Was
it his daughter?
I don't think so.
No, Charlotte was not there.
No, I would have recognized Charlotte. I don't think it was Charlotte. I'm positive it wasn't Charlotte.
Stephen McBride for 2. Ryan, I'm tired of bottoming. I want to top for once. Well, wish in one hand, shit in the other, I suppose. Shadow Saiyan for 5. Or.
I don't even know what that is.
Apparently, Beardo had trouble pronouncing something, and he sounded like a seal.
Congratulations.
You have to watch all these shows to keep up with all the fucking memes.
Yeah.
Tobias, that's why I play with my dad. Gaming on Fridays, usually with Battlefield. Waiting to see what EA does to mess up the next one's launch. Took a while for 2042 to be truly good and stable. That's why I play with my dad. I'm just trying to figure out what comment precipitated that. But that's fun, Tobias. It's cool that your dad likes to play with you. Vault 95 for 199. Asking for prayers for my father. Needs them right now. Well, don't know what's going on, but thoughts and prayers go out to Vault 95's father.
Yeah.
Not good. Jay, we should probably talk about Minecraft, huh?
You know, I just downloaded the game. Not yesterday, the day before.
You never played before?
I've never played in my life. So I just took it for I had something on the background. I just took it for a quick spin. I guess I'm on the easy mode where you could fly, you know, they just drop you in a world and the monster's not going to hurt you, where you're just trying to figure out
creative mode.
I didn't know what to pick because I don't know the controls. So I was like, I didn't do anything, but I just dug a big hole. And then I floated around and I tried to fish. I don't know how to fish. There's a fish on the line, but every button I push, it messes up. So I gotta figure little things out like
bubbles.
That. And then, but I don't know like what number like or what letter to pull the fishing rod back up. I was trying all kinds of stuff, but then I dug a big hole, and then I got a little too far. I found some lava down there and some skeletons. That was interesting. I was learning how to shoot the crossbow, all that stuff. So I was just taking it for a spin. Nothing serious.
Got to do survival. It's the only way to play.
That's how you do it. There's no pre-made homes in survival.
I mean, there's villages that you can find that have like the same thing you saw in the movie, that villagers are there and they have homes and they have some stuff. They have some food you can find. They have some boxes you can go through and steal their shit, or you can trade with them.
Can you fly in survival mode?
No.
Flying was kind of cool.
And if you fall, you take damage. And you need to eat so you don't die of hunger. And you can't just get anything you want. You can't just like get a crossbow or you have to actually get the resources to be able to build those things. Yeah. Unless you randomly kill like something and it has it on them. But yeah, got to do survival.
I was trying to figure out how to create, like I found a panda random and I was like, how can I befriend this? And I was
think they eat
pushing
I
buttons.
think they eat bamboo.
I was just pushing random buttons and I killed it. I felt a little bad, but then
Wow.
you moved on to the next one.
Yeah, that is true. In theory, if you get a lot of different shit, if you build the wings and you have the boosters and everything, you can,
can't fly?
in theory, finally build your way to be able to fly to some extent in survival. But that is going to take a long ass time. You can't just open up the game and fly.
Yeah, I was just taking it for a quick spin before I like decide if I'm gonna dive in.
Well, keep playing, man. Minecraft's fun. I to be honest, even though I fucking hated the movie, it's been making me want to play the game again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I almost like this might be fun. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, it is fun. It's pretty fun. All right, let's talk about the Minecraft movie since Jay's talking about wanting to play the game. The movie successfully transformed Jay into wanting to play Minecraft. And over the past week, we've seen the Minecraft movie absolutely explode at the box office, double what people thought it would make over the first weekend, record-breaking first weekend for Warner Brothers, for video game franchises, for everything. And, the question is, how far will this movie go? How much money will it make? But there's no doubt that theaters are full for the Minecraft movie. And in fact, in some cases, they're a little bit chaotic. Now, Jay, I don't know about your experience. From my experience, it was very similar to this reaction that's going on out there. You had people quoting the lines. You had people cheering after the lines were quoted. Kind of a wholesome movie experience, stuff like this.
Water bucket.
Yeah, you can do that. If you throw water down at the last moment, you can not take fall damage.
Ah. That seems to be the big hit.
That's definitely one of the big hits. I Am Steve was pretty big. This has been a pretty common experience out there in a lot of theaters for the Minecraft movie. However, there's some instances where it's getting a little bit crazy, a little bit out of control. Movie theaters post warnings against crazy Minecraft movie screenings. Screaming and taking part in TikTok trends will not be tolerated. Teen fans of a Minecraft movie spark mayhem with chicken jockey trend. And we're going to go through the different levels here, Jay, of kind of insanity that we've seen at some of these places, specifically surrounding the chicken jockey scene. Let's watch this one.
Hold! Hold! Chicken jockey! Yes!
He's just chucking stuff at the screen.
Hey, somebody's got silly string that they're putting everywhere. Like, it's going a little crazy. Here's another one. Let's watch this one.
Chicken jockey!
Popcorn flying.
And almost all of these fucking kids have their phones out, recording the entire thing, all this stuff.
Trend, huh?
Here's another one. Imagine getting that big bag of popcorn just to throw it everywhere.
Wow.
Look at that.
Sad music.
That's fucking nuts. But there's one more crazy one. These motherfuckers brought an actual chicken into the theater.
He's holding it in his hand.
There it is. Look.
He's on someone's shoulders holding a chicken.
Yes.
Man, that chicken doesn't realize he probably got more views than I'll ever have on the internet for anything.
Fucking chicken on the floor of the mall at the AMC or whatever. Now look, there's two sides of this. One, it's fucking awesome for theaters that people are this excited to actually go to see a movie and pay to go see a movie and do all this shit. On the other hand, there are some cases bringing a fucking live chicken in the goddamn place, shitting all over, doing whatever. The insane amount of mess that people are making at every single showing, it is a little bit fucking out of control, just to be real.
I think they're starting to post warnings, and there's actually some videos out there where the police were called to come, or maybe it was mall security. I don't know, but oh no, this one said police came and kicked us out.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, Stitch.
And singing when the police. How do you find, like, I guess, did somebody rat them out? Like, in a sea of, like, young people throwing popcorn, who do you pick to say this is the person that started it all? Or maybe that was the person that called the police and was just like, I can't deal with this in the theater, so he's leaving with the police because he didn't feel safe. Who knows? Chicken jockey, man. That's it.
Look, these fucking 18, 19, 20-year-old, 17, however fucking old most of the people are that are participating in this. This was the target audience for this fucking dumbass movie, right? And it's worked to perfection for Warner Brothers and for this movie. It's making a lot of money. It's gone viral. The memes have gone viral from it, and it's going to continue to rake in money. Definitely has a shot to potentially cross $1 billion. We'll see how it goes over this weekend and next weekend. But yeah, it is getting a little bit out of hand with people bringing in live fucking animals, trashing the joint after every single showing. A little bit wild,
I'd say.
Would you want to go to a movie that you knew that was going to happen, Jay?
There's a part of me that says yes if I knew it was coming, but maybe not if like if I'm mentally prepared, like get ready. They have to wait till almost over half the movie to get to the point where they go crazy. But not on a surprise, probably not. It is cool though. No matter what movie you see, if you got a good crowd where everybody's cheering at the right times and clapping during certain scenes, it makes the movie better, in my opinion.
Well, look, I think that this, like the thing we first reacted to, I think that is great for the fucking theaters, right?
I do too.
Like, I think that's awesome that they have an energized crowd, that people are clapping, that people are cheering, that people are excited, that people are energized, that young people even want to go to a theater. I do think that you can also say
that's
that
pretty big
and be like, the other stuff is bullshit and retarded.
Yeah. Throwing projectiles and stuff like that.
Because it's not just because they're excited. They're taking part in a fucking viral TikTok trend. That's what they're doing, right? Like that shit, bringing a goddamn chicken in there, completely trashing the entire place, silly stringer. Like that is not because they're excited to see it. That's because they want to take part in a viral trend. That's why.
First of all, let me just say, like, that's like, hey, Ryan, I got an idea. We're going to go see Minecraft this weekend. I'm going to smuggle in a real chicken. Well, how are you going to get past like the ticket guard? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I'll stick it in my hat or something.
Somebody asked me this the other day. I could easily fucking get a chicken in there.
The reality is a lot of the people that work at the theater are teenagers themselves, and they just don't even care.
Well, like, Jay, if you and me could easily get a chicken in there.
Yeah.
If it was just you and me, that might be a little more difficult. If we had like 6 people, it would be easy as fuck.
Yeah.
One person who's got the tickets, he has 6 tickets. Okay, theater number 10,
and
down the hall to your right.
Yeah.
I just got a fucking coat on with a goddamn chicken under it.
Yeah.
Like, as long as he's not balking up a storm, I could get him in there.
Yeah.
He might die of a heart attack.
And then you have to hold him and keep him calm for like an hour and a half before that scene hits. Like, that's the thing. Maybe you're feeding him popcorn. He's just a happy little cluck, you know? Unless they kept him in like a cage. No, you got to smuggle in the cage too.
I think if you just look, I think the chicken would probably just chill. He might shit all over you. Might shit all over the place. For real.
Imagine that thing taking off, man. Getting loose. just flying around the theater. That'd be pretty funny, actually. I'd probably laugh.
Look, I used to
As
bring
long as it didn't
alcohol.
get in
Look,
my,
I used to
Twizzlers.
bring alcohol into movie theaters. I used to bring snacks into movie. I brought a fucking Papa John's pizza into a movie theater one
Yeah.
time. Okay,
I brought Popeye's chicken once.
yeah, if you can get that in, you can get a chicken in.
I brought Popeye. Yeah, the movie theater brings back great memories. The first job I got fired from for letting people in the theater for free. So I lasted about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Summer job, James working at the theater. Let's all go down there and see. Yeah, y'all. I was like, bro, I thought you were bringing like 2 people, not 22 people.
But look, this is a good week
Yeah.
for somebody in the theater business in terms of all the actual tickets they're selling. It is a bad week to be in the theater cleanup business.
Yeah.
If you're any of the janitorial staff or whatever that's having to deal with that shit. So
I mean, think about if they're actually buying a ton of popcorn while they're there, they're also spending. That's also another plus for the theaters because that stuff ain't cheap.
yeah. Fucking expensive. Go get refilled to do it again later.
Yeah, right.
All right. Where are we here? Dan Vasquez in the chat. For 50. In my opinion, villages are too common in Minecraft now. They used to be rare in earlier builds. The feeling of solitude was a big part of survival mode, and it's kind of gone. I don't know. I mean, I haven't loaded up like a new world or anything in quite some time, but I mean, every once in a while you get lucky and spawn like right next to a village, but I mean, pretty often you just had to pick a direction and go and see if you could fucking find one. But I don't know. One of the other things though is they've also there used to be a lot of different ways that you could kind of auto farm things. For instance, I mean, 5-6 years ago, you could build like an AFK fishing farm. You had the right things. You could build an AFK fishing farm to just mine books and enchantments and shit like that. They got away with that. You can't do that shit anymore. So pretty much the only way you're going to be able to find those things is to go to villages, go to the library, or go to the librarian and all of that. So maybe that's a part of it. Maybe they have upped it a little bit. I'm not sure. Thanks, Dan.
I wouldn't know.
Carol Hall with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Carol Hall. Lord Slosh for 5. Pee Wee Herman kicked out of the movie theater for being the original chicken jockey. If you know, you know. Wasn't he jerking his chicken in the theater?
Oh, yeah. I was like,
He was
for a
choking
minute,
his
I'm sitting
chicken.
here like, hold on a second. He brought a chicken in the theater. All right. Thanks for clearing that up.
Joey for 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Joey. Tobias next for 5. It was a tangent about playing games once after buying them. Me and my dad have played the Battlefield series most Fridays since Battlefield 2 after I moved. That's cool. A little Friday tradition. The mystery. So when will Ryan and Jay Minecraft stream be happening?
You can do that with a team?
Yeah, you can have another person there with you. You could have, I mean, you could build a little server too if you want, but you can just play with somebody else.
Wild. He would get frustrated with me quick because I would just dig a hole.
I would just do mine. Well, I mean, you do have to dig a hole at some point to go
Yeah.
mine, but there's a little strategy to it.
Yeah.
Aberjam UK for £2. Jay had a bad experience with a panda.
I did. He just was like, he made a little grunt noise, and I was trying to give him like a piece of pig that I killed earlier, but he didn't want it.
No.
Yeah.
So all of the animals have different stuff that will like make them happy or make them your friend or make them mate, right? So make them have babies.
So if you befriend them, you could just walk them back to your home and then put them in a box.
100%. I put them in pens. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you make a plan, you build some pens that you know you're going to fucking use for whatever. I think cows go after the wheat. I think cows like wheat. So you pull some wheat out, you get close enough to a cow and it'll just start looking at you and following you and wants you to feed it to it. But you don't. You fucking lead them back to your place, get a couple fucking cows in there, lock them in, and then you get some wheat. You start fucking feeding it to them. And when you feed it to two of them, they get happy and they have a baby. They have a little calf. Then you let it grow up and you got 3, but you keep doing it.
What if you don't feed them? They just die.
I don't think they die if you don't feed them. No, they're
They
okay.
just like make a weird noise.
Pretty sure pigs like potatoes, maybe, or carrots.
And there's a whole thing to this.
What do sheep like?
I'm gonna have to like
I don't remember.
find a play guide or something.
Maybe you can figure it out.
Maybe.
Jay Astoria is doing
Yeah.
a 40th anniversary weekend for the Goonies, June 5th through 8th. If you aren't busy, you should check it out. Hi, Ryan.
I was invited by the owner of the Goonies house to come in on June 5th and be part of the documentary. They're filming a documentary. The original actors, I think all of them are set to be there. Almost all of them are set to be there, as well as they're trying to get the house rebuilt, at least part of it, to match the movie. I've been keeping up with it. And yeah, I don't know. There's a good chance I could fly. Fly all the way out there. You got to fly, and then it's a 2-hour drive from Portland, a 2-hour drive to Astoria, but they only have like 2 hotels in that little town, so they might already be packed. I have to check. If not, the owner of the Goonies house said I could stay in the Goonies house on the 5th. I just think that would be too crazy to stay in the house, because everybody will be banging on the door, probably looking in and all that stuff, like during that week. But it's supposed to be a massive thing. The whole town's gonna have a parade, all kinds of stuff. So, but I was invited to go. I just think I'd get lost in the shuffle, like with so many things going on. You know, you're like, hey, remember you invited me? While Sean Ashton and everybody else is hanging there, like, oh yeah, that's my friend Jay. And you just keep it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too busy for one man to kind of like balance everything on a plate. You know, you spending a lot of. Then you got a camera crew there. The news is gonna be there. All these people want to see the celebrities are all gonna be like trying to push in. It's gonna be like one of those deals. I've seen it before. You know, you kind of get lost like in the shuffle. So I don't know yet. I don't know.
David Smart, good wrestling experience, meeting John Cena. He let me hold his belt. Bad wrestling experience, grabbing Mark Henry's arm. I thought it was my time.
Really? You didn't like that, huh?
I met Mark Henry.
Sexual chocolate?
I met Mark Henry in San Diego. And he made the mistake of comments. I was wearing a Green Lantern shirt. He made the mistake of commenting on my Green Lantern shirt. And he was like, oh, you like DC, huh? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm a pretty big DC fan. He's like, what do you think of these new movies? And I started talking his ear off about how I didn't like Joss Whedon's Justice League. And he very quickly realized, he's like, oh, I just thought you were going to say whether you liked it. I figured you said you'd like it.
He just wanted a yes or no answer, not
Yeah. He was just making small talk. Yeah.
Good old sexual chocolate.
Snacks for 5. No white meme was no tickets bought for empty theaters. For Minecraft, people buy tickets to fill theater to record a meme.
That's one way of putting it.
Pretty much.
Do we have a second for a quick theme park announcement whenever you're done?
Let's do this. $50.
Doc Hollywood
Doc
again
Hollywood.
showed up in my stream earlier today, dropping bombs in there as well. Thank you.
For those of us old enough to remember Rocky Horror Picture Show when it was in theaters, audience participation was a thing long before the internet was a thing. Yeah, I know for you 70-year-olds out there, you remember back in my day, we were throwing things at the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Those were also like midnight only showings, and it was kind of like a thing. And even then, a lot of theaters banned anyone from throwing shit because you guys were destroying the fucking theaters. So yeah, it went too far then too. But yes, Jay, I just picked up Blue and Green. Thanks for the link.
Oh man, you're welcome. Let me know if you enjoy them. Yeah, I had some more books printed, so they could just be up in the store. So if people didn't get a chance to pick them up, they'll be there.
There you go.
Cool.
But thank you, Doc Hollywood. What do you have to show me, Jay?
Oh, just real quick for everybody over there in the UK, Europe's first Universal theme park will be built in Bedford. I don't know if that's a good place or not. Europe's having a tough time over there least that's what I see on the internet. The government has reached an agreement with Universal, which will create 28,000 jobs. The resort is expected to open in 2031. And the big secret is that they've been hiding from the people. The big rumor is that they're going to do something with Lord of the Rings. I don't know what, but something with the Lord of the Rings possibly will be in the park. A lot of the experts were saying that it leaked that this is supposed to be something with Back to the Future, a Back to the Future ride, which is something new that Universal doesn't have. This over here is probably going to be like the Trolls Land, you know, with Shrek and the swamp and the little Trolls roller coaster that we have here already. But there's something that's supposed that they didn't put, and a lot of people were saying Lord of the Rings, like Rivendell. Listen to me, Rivendell. I corrected myself. That's what I'm saying. Of course, they have the Jurassic Park and Waterworld. Ryan's favorite is Waterworld is supposed to be projected.
Wait, is that actually supposed to be Waterworld?
Yeah, back here. Yeah,
that's fucking cool. Yeah, so I've heard. Or sorry,
no, go ahead.
This for park hopping. That's really cool. So I have heard basically about the Shrek area. I've heard about the Jurassic Park. I've heard the rumors of the Back to the Future. I haven't heard about Lord of the Rings or about that being a Waterworld show, but I love the freaking Waterworld show. I think it's awesome. Do they have Universal has the rights to make a Lord of the Rings part of the park? Do they?
I mean, you're talking about Lord of the Rings. I mean, you're talking about IPs that Universal they rent out. You know, they had.
Yeah.
They did get Marvel. They still have Marvel. It's the only place that you can buy Marvel merchandise that doesn't have like the Disney or MCU like tag. It's their own Universal tag. So then there's
I mean, look, we know that Warner Brothers has all the rights to make all of the Harry Potter stuff, whether it's movies, TV shows, whatever. Yet Universal has the theme park rights, so we know that's a thing.
I think we'll find more in the next probably 5 years if something like that is being built. But that would be it would be something along like what I'm seeing is like like Rivendell. It just would be something you'd walk in and probably have a show, something along those lines. So not necessarily a ride yet.
Like Gandalf's crazy coaster.
Yes. Come fly with the wizard. Yeah. Gandalf the Grey. And
Gimli's Flying Adventure.
This is the same, you know, like most Universals are built this way. If you've never been, they have the giant globe. You walk down like a little main street where they have different things like shops and restaurants, and then you get into the actual park. But apparently this is like a freaking, you know, it's a big deal, a lot of jobs. It took a while for them to get this deal made. And this is just the concept art. This was the first concept art that was given. And we should have some more announcements on this in the near future. Universal just really, I mean, they're doing stuff, man. Epic Universe is about to officially open next in May. And they're already selling tickets for annual pass holders that they can go now. And I'm hearing now that some of the days are already sold out. It's the first theme park that was built here in Orlando since in 25 years. So, and it's freaking awesome. Like you can go to park hopping and see all that stuff. And then right after that opened up its doors, they announced this. And the different lands inside the original Islands of Adventure and Universal are probably going to get a remake in about 2 years. Someone that we know has made mention, like there could be a Pokemon land that's coming, things like that. There's going to replace some of the older IPs. So we'll have to wait on those announcements. But it just seems like they are ready to take over the theme park world. All I'm waiting for now is like whoever wins the Super Bowl is to have the guys like, hey, you just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going?
I'm going to Epic Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
At Universal Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be pretty awesome. Dude, that would be the ultimate troll, man. That'd be the ultimate. They need to do that. But anyway, so we'll see. Is anybody there that are watching from the UK excited for a theme park over there?
Excited that in 6 years you'll be able to go to this?
Yeah. I mean, if they were to do Lord of the Rings, that'd be something worth traveling for if it's done well. You know, maybe. I guess we'll see.
That'd be cool.
Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. I knew I didn't want the news to get too late. I should have. I didn't. I don't think I put that in your in our little talk.
You didn't. But thank you. Boba Fett for 199J. Theaters have infrared cameras.
Theaters have infrared cameras.
I don't know if all theaters do. Some theaters I'm sure do, but I also don't know if they're being monitored constantly all the time, if they're just for backtracking if anything goes wrong so they can review security footage type of thing. I don't know. Raven Black Sparrow plays for 5. Minecraft is just following in the footsteps of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Says Raven Black Sparrow. L. Kurtz for 199. Will Snow Woke beat out the Marvels? I don't know at this point. It doesn't look good.
I don't think so.
It looks like it could finish under $200 million. Shadow Saiyan for 5. After years of empty theaters, at least the ushers have work now. They do have a lot of work. Snacks for 2. You can sneak in anything with a baby carrier.
That's a good point.
Alan Fernandez, bad hair and smelly are awesome. Penis vagina. Thanks. Cal Yoth for 5. Hollywood's broken. Theaters 50 years ago sell at 9 shows a weekend due to Rocky Horror here in Boston. Alone versus being empty. Money for Rocky. Thank you, Cal Yoth. We know where Hollywood might not be getting any money from anymore. China. China, Jay. And I know they talked about this a little bit yesterday and also got into a highly sophisticated conversation about the economic feasibility of just production solely in the United States and how business owners just need to stop buying things from China immediately to survive. Go check out yesterday's daily for Jeremy and Beardo's thrilling conversation about that. But we did get some updated news on this. We heard a few days ago that in response to the tariff war that's going on right now and, Trump talking with China threatening this back, a lot of posturing going on right now, that China was potentially considering banning United States films from releasing in China as part of a retaliation for the tariffs. Well, that has now been confirmed. The China Film Administration has confirmed it will cut back on its import of U.S. films in the wake of Trump's tariffs. The wrong action of the U.S. government to abuse tariffs on China will inevitably further reduce the domestic audience's favorability towards American films. And so this is happening. According to them, this is what they're setting in place. It's not just a report anymore. This is what they're planning on doing. The thing is, if this was 2017, 2018, 2019, this would be a massive blow to the U.S. entertainment industry. The problem is right now, one, not a lot of films are getting released in China in general, and the ones that are, for the most part, aren't doing almost anything. When you go and look, these are the highest grossing films worldwide from last year, right? Look at the box office take from China, with the exception of something like Godzilla vs. Kong, which performed extremely well there, $134 million. You look at a lot of other these numbers, and here's where the percent of the total box office is for something like some of these big hits: 3%, 4%, 1%, 6%, 0% for Wicked, 2%, 5%, 23% for Godzilla vs. Kong. So that would be a big blow to them. 10% for Kung Fu Panda 4. That's a decent chunk of change. And 1% for something like Sonic the Hedgehog. So right now, China's accounting for about 5% of the total box office take for these movies. Like I said, back in 2017, 2018, when a Marvel movie would get released, it'd make $1.1 billion and 200 or 300 million might be from China. This would have been a massive deal. But the truth is, a lot of the U.S. films right now aren't selling very well in China, period.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how big of a threat or how big of ramifications this really would be to the current entertainment industry, if I'm just being real.
So I think Avatar will probably take a big hit if that's true.
Avatar, a handful of things. I mean, Alan says right here, Avatar and Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Right? Jurassic Park would probably do very well in China.
And Fast and the Furious, that last Fast and Furious movie won't do well because that was huge international box office. So yeah.
You're right about
that-
China. If that's still a thing when Avatar 3 gets released this winter, and if they're still pushing that out there, that would be bad for them.
Yeah, it wouldn't hardly make anything. it'd be pretty low. That's for sure. I do know, like, there were, like you said, just a handful of film, like Star Wars, that does nothing in the international box office. So, but yeah, dinosaurs do well. Blue creatures do well. And fast cars.
Well, anything
Family.
that doesn't involve Chinese people hearing like an American story or something, right? As long as it's just fucking big gorillas fighting, or it's big mechanized beasts fighting, big dinosaurs fighting, or car chases, they're cool with it. Anything other than that, they don't have
Is
much.
China the
interest.
second biggest box office in the world? Is it the second biggest?
I mean, in theory, yeah.
In theory, yeah.
But the thing is, they have, over the last 5 years, they've been putting out a lot more of their original shit that's being very successful.
Right.
And some of that has to do with them not allowing American films in, or as many American films. Some of it has to do with people not being interested in those stories in general, even for the ones that are released. Like Marvel movies don't even come close to the levels that they used to.
Yes.
In China. They also don't come to where they used to here in America, do they? Maybe there's a common theme there. But there are a handful of franchises that would feel those effects. But for most stuff that comes out, like you can see from this list of the highest grossing movies last year, not a huge impact would be felt from those. I mean, 5% is not nothing. It certainly is. But 5% of the global box office coming from China, for these big movies.
And you want to know something, though, Ryan? No matter what kind of official correct numbers you post, the freaking weirdos from Hollywood will take this as an as a threat. I almost said an advantage, to make another talking point about how terrible our president is, and whine and complain about all this stuff, and how they're probably going to be flat broke because their movie can't be shown in China. All this stuff. We're going to see the Hollywood meltdown over something like this when one of the movies is not released. All you're going to do is see a headline. Oh, so-and-so movie is, they refuse to release this movie in China, which probably would only do about 10 million, maybe less. And they'll kick and scream and cry. And
remember, the studios only get 25% of the box office proceeds from movies released in China anyway. So that 10 million is really $2.5 million. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not to say that that's nothing. $2.5 million, $2.5 million. And there might be a handful of movies where that could make or break them in terms of breaking even. But in general, right now, it's not the biggest deal. This is not like it would be 10 years ago if they announced this. And China's been making a lot of their own shit. They just had that, I forget what it's called, Nizar. I don't even know what the name of it is.
Right?
$2 billion, basically just from China, that animated movie, the biggest animated movie of all time, right? It was a Chinese-made movie. So they are spending money at the theaters, just not on any American things right now anyway.
And honestly, I can't blame them. Anything that we're making is terrible. So I wonder how the Minecraft movie would do over there.
It did better than a lot of shit that's been released recently.
Did it?
It made like 12 or 14 million in its opening weekend, which is that would probably used to have been considered nothing 10 years ago, like a very mediocre China opening. Now it's like one of the best openings we've seen in a while. Man.
Good job, Hollywood. Not only are you taking the American audience from watching your films international, they don't want your crap either. So this is pretty much not a threat at all to anybody or anything at the moment from China. So if that's not to get political, but if that's the only cards they got to help with this tariff war, that ain't it. And you trip Winnie the Pooh. Well, I didn't trip, but I almost had a fake confession there.
Well,
all hell breaks loose.
I don't think that that's it. And I don't think that this is necessarily the place we're going to find the most cogent responses and analysis on the impact of tariffs on the global economic system, or how it might affect small businesses here in the United States. I think that's a headline, and we talk about the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Overall, that's one of the least impactful things I think that's going to
Yeah.
happen. But Hollywood has been desperately pandering to China for forever now to try
Yeah.
to access all of those people there to spend all of that money. And the harder they've pandered, the more that they've failed to the point where they're not doing business there as it is. And now they might be banned, at least for a while, from doing it.
Scared to put black people on the posters, hoping that they can get some of that Chinese money. Scared. Yeah. I editing the films so it doesn't have any weird messaging. It still doesn't work.
Yeah, thanking China for letting them film Mulan right next to their concentration camps. You know?
Yep. None of that. None of it's working. Good job, Hollywood. Good job.
Crispy Noken for 2. Hail all and happy birthday to the 199. Is it the anniversary of that?
Is it the anniversary of 199?
I don't know. Taker for $5. Getting to the park in Bedford will be an adventure in and of itself as you try to avoid the machete-wielding grape gangs as you create park hop in UK.
That's why I was wondering if that was a. It's like UK's got some other issues than worrying about a theme park, but maybe that'll be the big turnaround. Everybody's happy riding roller coasters, looking at dinosaurs and Back to the Future.
I don't know. Kaleki Oki for 199. Joker 1 made $1 billion without China. It's possible. Well, I mean, Moana 2 made $1 billion and it only made like 12 or 15 million dollars in China. So it's 100% possible. But like, I wonder what Spider-Man No Way Home made there.
Do people in Canada not go to the movies? I guess nothing comes out of that box office. Too busy drinking our liquor, huh?
I think Canada actually counts as domestic.
Oh, really? Oh, then that's something.
So I don't think that Spider-Man No Way Home had a China release.
Really?
Yeah. So and that made almost $2 billion. Compare that to
why was that? Why would they not release that? That's weird.
Thor Ragnarok, right? Let me look at Thor Ragnarok.
There's no. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want Love and Thunder in there.
Because I want to like show some examples for.
Sure.
God damn it. Thor. Here, Thor Ragnarok made $850 million worldwide. Made $112 million just in China. For random MCU movie number 45, whatever. Well, probably more like 18 back at that point. But like those are the types of numbers they used to be pulling consistently, over $100 million in China for most anything that the MCU released. Now, they're lucky if they get a release in general, but
how did Captain America do?
Brave New World?
How's that doing in China?
My guess is less than 5 million overall. Captain America, Brave New World, international. Oh, you know what? Not bad. $14 million for its entire run. Probably because they hid Black Captain America on the poster and they thought Red Hulk was the hero. Hey, that's not bad. Considering some of these things make 5 million. Darth Maniac for 20. One thing that you two do compared to other G&G hosts, you talk about the numbers of movies and games. Love it. Rain Man on, boys. The time is strong with you. The tism, maybe?
Gary in the chat says China shut down most of Hollywood around COVID. There we go.
Mm-hmm. And it was tough. Even like Multiverse of Madness, I think. Like, I don't know if Multiverse of Madness had a Chinese release. So But thank you, Darth Maniac. People often refer to Rain Man when they describe Jay. He's really good with numbers.
Yeah.
One time I dropped a bunch of toothpicks on the ground and he knew exactly how many were left in the box. Lance, not to mention the studios get way less a cut from the Chinese box office. Very true. Very true. Over on the local side, grab Thar's hammer for $10. For Jay's Chicken Jockey viral popcorn throwing video fund. What does $10 even get you at a theater these days?
Slushy.
$10 probably get you a big old thing of popcorn. Slushy probably like $7 or $8. Don't you think?
$10. Slushy's like $7, I think. Maybe some Reese's Pieces and a slushy, get $10. It all depends too. Like, where are you going?
Hello? Am I frozen or are you frozen? I think that was you. I feel like it was you. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
see you frozen. It was probably me.
Okay.
Great.
Good.
That's all I need.
The tism is strong with them, says Graham Potato.
Hey, change your avatar.
Try and peel this potato. But I think that's all we got, Jay.
Am I lagging still?
Tell me when you see me clap.
No, it sounds perfect.
All right. I think you're okay then.
I don't know, man. I got problems over here.
All right. But we are pretty much done, so your problems are fine. You got anything going on, Jay?
I'm going to run some Sea of Thieves later. Going on the high seas. That's about it. And I gotta cut the grass, trim the bushes, and deal with all that. Knock the dust, the pollen off everything. Hate it. So I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay, well, that sounds fun. Thanks for joining me, Jay. We'll be back tomorrow for some more big news. You never know what we might talk about on this show.
The biggest.
There you go. Chicken Jockey.